Greetings, fellow Toastmasters. How exciting. This is my first speech up here in front of all of you, so thank you for giving me your time. So with this story, what I'm going to share with you is how hairdressing found me. I want you all to close your eyes and pretend like it's 1996 for a moment. How many of you in this room remember Maple Avenue from 1996 by show of hands? Anyone here? Cool, we have a few people that remember it from that time. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is because that was the year that I was 17, fresh out of high school, and I got my first full-time job. And by the way, you can all open your eyes now. So during that time period, I was fresh out of high school, and I had a job at Amir's Deli, which is now Caruso and Caruso, but at that point it was a deli. Now, 3 doors down from that deli, there was a hair salon called Kanis Bashar. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because all of these hairdressers used to come in and I would give them free food every day for lunch, and they'd let me be a model for their hairdressing classes that would be once or twice a month. So that right there was pretty much at that point my only view of a nice salon was at that point. So now here I am behind the counter at the salad counter, and at that point in time, all I really wanted to do was be an artist, a famous artist, mind you. So I wanted to go to art school. Now, I also figured out at that time, for a high school dropout, which I was at that point, going to art school and spending all that money on a crazy degree that really wasn't going to give you much income probably wasn't the greatest idea, right? So one day I'm at work and I'm really depressed and I'm making a latte, and the owner, or not the owner, the manager of that salon comes in and she says, "Erica, what's wrong with you today? You're not your usual self today." And I said, "Well, I just don't know what I want to do with my life. I mean, here I'm working this minimum wage job," which by the way was $6.25 an hour at that point. But to me that was a fortune. But still, that being said, I realized there was a lot further to go, and I just didn't know where that was. So she said to me, "Erica, have you ever thought about doing hair?" Now, at that point, I looked at her like she was from another planet. I said no, because I'm thinking about these fancy hairdressers that come in every day, and they're all wearing these expensive outfits, and they're talking about going on this vacation and to that club, and you know, whatever. And I mean, me, I was like art school student. And at that point, my experiences with hair were probably getting perms in my kitchen from my stepmother when I was 7 or 8. And then my teenage experiments with hair color in the bathroom that turned the sink purple, much to my mother's disgust. And just various self-haircuts along the way. So, and then my time in the chair during the classes. So, yeah, not what you would think, but it kind of stuck with me. And a few days later, I went into the salon and I asked her for a job. And guess what she said? No. She told me to go to beauty school. So I went to McDaniel's Beauty School, and I also found out about a program where the state will pay for you to go to a trade school if you have your GED. So I busted my butt, got my GED that summer, and enrolled in beauty school. Then fast forward 3 months later, and guess what I became? Beauty school dropout. Yeah. But then I went to Chicago, moved there with a couple friends, and then one day I was walking along on Clark Street, and again, there's another bougie hair salon, and with a sign in the window that said hiring. Now, again, did not look like a hairdresser. Walk into that salon, and I had about the most intimidating 10 minutes of my life, working up the courage to ask for an application and fill it out after my last rejection. And needless to say, they ended up calling me back and having me come in for an interview. And when I came in for the interview, the manager of that salon asked me if I knew how to blow dry hair. I laughed and said, "Yeah, sure, you pick up the dryer and you dry the hair, right?" Well, he told me, he took a deep breath, and he said, "Erica, you've got a long way to go and a lot to learn, but as long as you have an open mind, you're going to go far." And I will tell you that those words to this day, as an educator, still follow me. And then fast forward to 2001, we moved back to Michigan, and I worked at a salon at the mall for a few years, and then guess what city drew me back? Birmingham. And guess where I got a job in 2004? At Bashar Salon, but it was around the block. And I worked there for a little while, and then eventually made my way to Red the Salon, where I currently am, and that's how hairdressing found me. Thank you very much.